Hello, Math 142. We're trying to find an equation of a hyperbola with foci plus and minus root 10, comma 0, passing through 4, comma square root of 18. Let me first of all just fix this. This is comma 0. So the fact that the foci is on the x-axis tells us that this hyperbola is opening to the left and to the right, because notice the value of y is 0 for foci. So the general form that I'm going to be using is x to the second over y over a to the second minus y to the second over b to the second equals 1. So the information from foci tells me c equals square root of 10. What else do I know? I know that I can use this 4 as x and square root of 18 as my y. So let's see where this is going to take us. I have 4 to the second over a to the second minus square root of 18 to the second over b to the second equals 1. In order for me to combine uh, these two fractions, I'm going to have LCD. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom of the first fraction by b squared and multiply top and bottom of the second one by a squared. That way I have my LCD. Okay. So going to the next page, now I have 4, I had 4 squared, which is 16 times b squared over a squared b squared, and I had minus square root of 18. Square of that is just 18, a to the second over a squared b squared equals 1. Now I can claim that 16b to the second minus 18a to the second over a squared b squared equals 1. And if I multiply both sides of this equation by least common denominator, a squared b squared, so here if I multiply both sides of this by a squared b squared, I will get 16b to the second minus 18a to the second equals a squared b squared. Okay, I have one equation, two unknowns. And so I cannot solve this the way we are, I'm looking at it. So let's go back and see what other information was given to us. The only other thing was given to us that is the value of c equals square root of 10. Well, if c equals root 10, let me go back to that page. So if c equals 10, then c squared equals, sorry about that, if c equals square root of 10, if c equals square root of 10, then c squared equals 10. And now I can use the fact that c to the second equals a to the second plus b to the second. And from here, I can solve for whether a or b. Let's solve for a to the second. So from here, if I solve for a to the second, I get c to the second minus b to the second. And now I can um, go ahead and use that fact. Uh, Remember that the value of c to the second is 10 right here. So what I have is a to the second equals 10 minus b to the second. Okay, let's go to the next page. Uh, we said that we have 16 b to the second minus 18 a to the second equals a to the second b to the second, and a to the second equals 10 minus b to the second. So I'm going to go ahead and substitute this in here and in here. And I will get, I have to be careful, 16b to the second minus 18 times 10 minus b to the second equals 10 minus b to the second times b to the second. Okay, it seems like it's getting kind of harder. Um, so now I got 16b to the second minus 180. Negative times negative is positive, so positive 18b to the second equals 10b to the second minus b to the power of 4. Subtracting b to the power of 4 from both sides gives me b to the power of 4. I know that this and this is going to give me 20 and then 34, and I'll have to subtract 10b squared from both sides. Let's say minus 10b squared. So that gives me, plus 24b to the second. Okay. And I have 180 in here, minus 180 equals 0. Can I factor that? Two numbers that add up to 24 and multiply to, okay, I think I can. I can factor this to b squared plus 30 b squared minus 6 equals 0. Okay. Let's see, b to the fourth minus 6. Yes, it works. Okay. So using zero product property, I say b squared plus 30 equals 0. So b squared equals minus 30. That produces no real solution. B squared cannot be negative numbers. How about this one? So b squared equals 6. Okay. And I was looking for, b squared. I do have b squared. And now that I have b squared and we do have a relationship between a squared and b squared, we know that a squared equals 10 minus b squared. So a squared equals 10 minus 6 is 4. Yeah. So my final answer for this rather long problem is x to the second over 4 minus y to the second over 6 equals 1. X to the second over 4 minus y to the second over 6 equals 1. Okay, I'll talk to you soon, and thank you.